Hello, welcome to OC Tanner. This is the semi-annual event, our Strategy Deployment Expo, here at OC Tanner Salt Lake campus. My name is Josh McEwen. This is Amberly Carter. We are the hosts of the OC Tanner factory floor, and we're excited to share with you the results from the last 6 months from 35 different teams. We want to talk just a minute about the process. For most, they refer to it as policy deployment or Hoshin Conry. We call strategy deployment. The strategy deployment process is just a little bit different. We have here behind us this expo as part of that event. And this happens at the end of a 6-month period and happens every 6 months. So each team writes a target, lead, and lag measure, and they choose those goals and they report on those goals at the end of that 6-month period. Let's talk a little bit about what happens a couple days before this event.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple days before our expo event that you see behind us, the supply chain executive leaders are actually meeting with every single team for about 15 minutes to hear their results from the last 6 months. The presentation is rated based on 4 criteria: how prepared and effective their presentation was, how well organized and creative their display was, did they achieve their lag measure, and did they achieve their lead measure. Those 4 categories are weighted in different ways to really allow teams to focus highly on those goals and make sure that they are working hard to reach them. And I love this because it really gives them an award system to really drive them to work harder to hit these goals.
Yeah, so we really emphasize that the lead and the lag measure is the most important part of that report, and so it's weighted with the most points. So if they hit the lead measure, they're going to get full points, but if it was challenging and they were just a little bit below that, they're going to lose some points. The other 2, as you mentioned, the presentation and the display, are also important points to talk about. So once all of the teams are all scored, then we kind of go through the process of narrowing down for best of show, and that is rated in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. So behind us, we have, which you probably can't see because it's behind my head, there's a gigantic star that's sitting on one of those best of show. And I have the insider information right here on who did very, very well. And it just so happens that the team that Amberly is a part of got best in show, this great logistics team. And 2nd place was purchasing, and 3rd place was our aluminum trophy team, day shift. There's some other notable folks that have done well, outstanding projects. From manufacturing, we had the Empire team. From supply chain support, we had receiving abnormalities, which is represented by one person, one man, Wallace, great guy. And then the 3rd is the company departments, client success. That was Danny. Danny, we're going to be interviewing here in a little bit.
So we really want to emphasize that these goals, these are chosen by the team members. And we talk about in different videos what that catch ball process looks like and how we come up with those goals. But once those goals are set, the teams are meeting weekly or more often to check on their progress and to make those improvements. The leaders will then support the team members and help remove obstacles or barriers that maybe stand in their way of achieving those goals. When a team member chooses their own goals, that means that they're writing them down, they're reporting on them, and the level of engagement and the level of excitement for that project goes way up. Imagine every single team completing their goals, which could be cost savings, it could be safety related, or it could be revenue growth. Every 6 months, those results benefit the company and supports the company's overall strategic objectives. Each team is actually asked that question when they do their rough draft reporting, and they say, how does your goal tie to the corporate strategy? And if you look at the charts, they all have some way that they tie into that corporate strategy map. And it just gives me chills how awesome it is that it just ties right in and everybody can be aligned, and we kind of all start to rise together, and it's really impressive to watch.
So I'll tell you what, we're going to take a minute and we're going to show you some of these boards. Fantastic. And you'll get to see as you observe just how different they are, the creativity that they use, the the goals are always going to be on the top left corner, but sometimes they might bring something as an improvement, something that they have been working on that's going to make their lives more efficient, take away some of the obstacles. So pay attention to some of that, and we'll be right back. As you were able to look at some of those boards, we're going to just zoom in on a couple of them real quick. And as you take a look at some of the details in the goal, you notice that some of the goals, the team didn't quite make it. Sometimes you'll notice that in the bar chart, it'll be indicated in red. It'll be below the line or above the line, depending on what that goal was. That's an opportunity to go back and revise and change those goals and really kind of talk about the last 6 months. Was it effective? Was this the right focus? Did we engage in the right activities to make a change? And if neither the lead or the lag had much improvement or met those goals, then that might be an opportunity to reflect and to make some serious changes. But you can also notice that some of the teams set really challenging goals, the lead and the lag, and they hit them. And those results are fantastic. The company benefits from them in such a great way. Every team tries to identify how their goals and their focus connect with the corporate strategy. It's incredibly important. And they'll actually even write a statement that says, we're doing this because it's going to improve growth. We're doing this. Yeah, the impact statement.
I think that to that point, it's aligning, but it's also empowering to say that we were talking about Receiving, who was one of the teams that got that outstanding award, and somebody asked how we set that goal, and I said we had the direct opportunity to contribute directly to the strategy map. The strategy map asked us to scale, and we set a goal to make sure that we could scale like they needed us to, because we own those cranes, right? That is our process. We work with Pick to Ship on those cranes, and we want to make sure that those are flowing. And so to feel that, it's empowering to the team members to realize that they are contributing to something that all the way up to the CEO, they know that we need to make happen.
You know, Amberly is a leader over the receiving team, and she feels like they did very well.
All day. Them and the shipping team.
I will tell you that I voted Receiving in the top 3, okay? Just because they did not end up in the top 3 does not make you not a winner. You guys are fantastic.
No, every team does great. It's actually one of my favorite things as we come to the Strategy Expo. You can feel the teams that stretched. You can feel the teams that said, gosh, I almost want to put some of those teams that just barely missed their lag right up with the people that, barely met it or exceeded it, because you can see the pain and the hard work that they've put in to make sure that they are working as hard as possible towards that. And you can see that they're striving, and they're all proud to sit there and talk about it. They're proud to sit there and talk about their improvements and what they know that they could have done a little bit better to actually hit their lag. And it's cool to see the growth. It's cool to see them stretch and see their mind stretch on what they can accomplish next time as they're working through the emotions of, this is what happened. This was our strategy period. This is what we executed. This is what didn't work out so well. And I have learned so much and grown so much from every single strategy deployment. All right, so we've got Gary Peterson here. He is our Executive Vice President over Supply Chain. And we're so grateful that he's joined us today. We've got strategy going on in the background. Tell me what you are hoping that our teams will learn from the strategy process.
Yeah, so as we're cascading the strategy map to our team members, we're helping them understand, one, what really matters to the company right now, what we're trying to focus on, and therefore what we're not focusing on. I think that's also an important message. But then the teams are being asked to connect with the strategy map, to find something strategic to work on. So I suppose that I want them to understand what is strategic to the company, and I want them to understand that my team can do something strategic. My team can accomplish, help move the company forward strategically.
Absolutely. That's a really big deal. I love that.
Yeah, so as part of the Hoshin Connery process that most people are familiar with, at the end of it, there's this reporting process that takes place.
Right.
So if you could talk about what that looks like in this Expo thing that's happening behind us is pretty unique to that process.
Right. How long have we been doing the Expo?
A couple years.
Couple of years. So before that, we would gather in our theater, and each team leader would get in front of all the others and present. And it was nerve-wracking. I think people felt like they were on the spot. They were in front of everybody. And I very much appreciated that Ray on your team suggested that we could do this differently. We could do it better. And, why not? Why not try it? And this is the result of that. So these teams right here are basically making the same presentation that they would be making in the theater. But instead of making it to 200 people, they're talking to 3 or 4 people at a time. And it's a much more comfortable. I mean, just sitting here watching them, they all feel good. I walked past, when I first walked in the hall just a minute ago, the woman who was doing the first team has only been here, Laura, she's been here like a few months, and she's manning their booth. And I just think that's cool. And when I walked past her, I said, "Hi, Laura." She gave me a big smile, like, look at me, I'm manning a booth, I think that's cool. Oh, well, that's the other point, isn't it? Is that when we were in the grand hall, it was the team leader and the group leader who were making the presentation. Now it's whoever in the team. I saw Alex over here for the receiving team. I'm no pick to ship team. I'm like, that's awesome. He wants a little more opportunity and so forth, and he's presenting his team. I think that's the power of doing it this way, is they get to present, and then the energy in here. In the theater, it's kind of stifling. And out here, it's raucous. There's high energy. People can laugh. People can talk loud. No problem. It's all good.
I love that.
So strategy deployment is a concrete part of the culture in the supply chain.
Yes.
And on occasion, we'll have people that will come and visit, clients, potential clients, visitors, and they'll walk through, just like you see like up in the background there, up high in our shot. We've got some folks that have just walked through, and they're probably conducting some other business, but they're watching this unfold.
Yeah.
How do you think that helps them?
Yeah, so I think it serves a lot of purposes. There's a ton of curiosity. I love to see people, whenever we're doing something like this, up above looking down, like, look at the energy. Look what's going on down there. And our salespeople are trying to tell them, hey, we can help you build a culture that matters. And they're looking down at the culture that matters. There's nothing more powerful than that. Our CEO, we were listening to a presentation this morning. So before this all happens, our whole team, Josh, we all gather around and a whole team comes and presents their board to us for 20 minutes. And we were doing that with one of the teams this morning. Our CEO showed up with a couple of guests, and they were walking around showing the boards. And I don't know what he was saying, but I'll tell you what I think he was saying. I think he was saying, look, at OC10, our people are engaged, they're strategic, they're doing things that matter. Let me show you examples of how we do this here.
2 insights, observations that I wanted to make. First, this whole process is not being managed in detail by you.
That's right.
You've given responsibility on to
That's right.
who we're going to talk to in a couple minutes, Marcy and Jacob, helping to administer this whole process. So it's really now an event that's just happening that you're our participant in.
Right.
The other thing I notice is we've met with a lot of the teams is that you show a high level of interest and engagement with the folks as they talk about their goals and how they've done. You're looking in detail at some of the things that they said they were going to do and asking questions. And that as I watch that, I can see that they know you care
Right.
as a leader.
I think they know I care, but they also sense from our entire team, Josh, that while they think we're pretty good, we have just impressed them. So, golly, we did something good, didn't we? And so then they come in here and I got something to tell you. Hey, come over here. Let me tell you what we did, because I know we did something good because I heard it, I felt it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, your team got best in show.
I know. Proud of that.
Right here.
Good work.
Bravo. Very
Some
nice.
hard
Fantastic.
work.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great to meet with you, Gary, and to ask you some questions about the expo. And thank you so much for everything you do and for your support.
No, my pleasure. Happy to be here. It was great.
Thank you, guys.
And I feel well prepared now when we do that Sports Center thing later on for the ball game. I think we're ready to go.
Okay, happy to have Marcy and Jacob here. They are both administering this whole great process that we're participating in, this Strategy Expo. And it's great to have both of you with us today. What have you learned from leading this expo? I know it's been your first go around for this one. What have been some of the takeaways and learnings?
I can start. It's been really surprising to me to see all the different projects that people are working on in the company. I had no idea, the depth of the projects. And from the outside looking in, it might be a seemingly insignificant project, but hearing about the cost savings and all of the impacts that it's had on the company has been really amazing.
Yeah, I think just being able to coordinate with other departments, right? Like we have client success actually participating fully in our supply chain strategy deployment, and it's really exciting because they see the worth in it. They do projects all the time, they do strategy, but they don't really have any sort of vehicle to talk about it or any way to showcase the results. So, we already do that, and it's just been really great seeing them follow our process with mid-period report outs and now with the expo, and seeing the excitement that comes from them. And one of the directors came up to me and she was saying that her team members wanted to know why Danny's team was picked for strategy deployment. And she said, no, she volunteered. Anybody can go, right?
Uh-huh.
So I think we're going to be getting a lot more participation from client success, and then hopefully we can expand out to finance and sales and everybody else, right? So there's a lot of traction gaining from all this.
So tell us a little bit, we've got the raffle going on behind us. Tell us a little bit about the raffle and how that is helping with engagement in the Strategy Expo process.
We obviously want each participant to go around and see what everybody else is working on, right? So we figured a fun way to do that would just be to divide some of the different value streams into different colors, right? And so if a participant visits a certain number of colors or different teams, that they'll get stickers, and then if they get enough stickers, they can actually participate in the raffle, right? And we have a lot of merch that was donated from purchasing in other departments, and this year we actually have a grand prize as well. So it's yeah, and for that one we decided we wanted a little bit more engagement, so we're actually having the team members write down a Yokoten, something that they'll bring back to their team so that they can implement for the future.
That's awesome. That's a big part, I think, of the Strategy Expo is that Yokoten idea. So giving them an opportunity or a place to structure it, really make sure that that's happening and happening in the right spot. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think the raffle, it's obviously changed over the years with strategy deployment, but just seeing how it works out and how we can get more engagement from people and how they can have more meaningful interactions with different teams so that we can all come together and understand how everyone's impacting OC Tanner and our own strategy map.
Absolutely. I think that's been one of my favorite things that I've seen is, I've been part of 6 or 7 strategy deployments at this point. Just be able to see the slight tweaks that just make it a little bit better every single time. And you guys are new leaders over the strategy deployment process. And just seeing your spin on things and seeing how that, elevates us continually is really impressive. So thank you guys for your hard work. I know this isn't easy to pull off.
I'm really glad you guys brought back the popcorn machine every year, 'cause that's a winner right there. Everyone gets to walk around some yummy popcorn. You guys are making fresh.
Definitely a highlight.
Oh, you had popcorn for lunch, not the tilapia? Oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, thank you so much for your time, and you guys have done great. I think it's been great, Marcy, over the last couple of days as you've been helping to score some of the teams, and someone has said, "Hey, can we do that?" And you're like, "Yes, that will happen next time. We're definitely going to
It'll
make
be
some
better.
changes."
It'll always be better.
Yeah, you've always had a great attitude with that. So thank you to both of you for running the show and making it really very successful.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Thank you. Okay. Hey, I've got Danny here, and she represents the department from our client success team. And it's great to have you with us today and to talk to you about your participation. You guys had a board, and you guys got to present yesterday. So talk about how it's gone. What have you thought so far?
It's went really well. It's been really fun to do this for client success. I was able to sit in on one of the purchasing strategy deployment projects, and that's kind of what sparked this. We were already working on a project that was going to have a lot of cost savings and some huge implications for our department. So we decided we'd roll with it and put it in the strategy deployment just to try to get it out there and show that client success is a part of the company and we're trying to contribute.
I love that. That's awesome.
It's great.
So tell me a little bit about, you said you mentioned the purchasing strategy deployment. What struck you and what strikes you as your first impressions in, experiencing a strategy expert?
It's been really cool. It's really cool to see how all of the teams are working on cost savings and just different processes that we interact with a lot. It's awesome to see some of the manufacturing projects, especially because a lot of the rushes that come in for them that they're struggling to meet are because of us. We're sitting there saying, oh, our client needs it right now. And so it's cool to watch it and understand what their process is and what they're going through so we can be more accommodating. Because if we don't know what kind of pressure like 30 awards in a day puts on them, we can't adjust our flow, and we don't know how to communicate with clients that way either.
That's awesome. That's really cool. That's great collaboration.
Thank you so much for your participation. We're so glad that you were able to come and to have a display and to report and to participate from outside the department. I know sometimes that's kind of hard to do when you're representing a totally different department, to come into the supply chain and participate in this great expo. And we really appreciate you doing that. And you guys have done a great job. It was a good report, and you've done some amazing work. And one of which I was very interested in terms of moving to one of our new systems and some of the products that we offer in printed. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting future.
Well, thank you. I appreciate everyone letting us participate. We really did have a blast.
It's good. Thank you.
All right, we're so happy to welcome Helaman, who's a new group leader here at OC Tanner. We're so grateful to have him on with us. So tell me, Helaman, this is your first strategy deployment, and this is your first strategy expo. Tell me a little bit about what you've learned and what you've seen unfold as you've been here.
Like you said, it is my first one. I've been at the company for about 2 months, so I haven't been able to see a whole lot. What initially drew me to OC Tanner was how team members initiate and execute on projects themselves, not just management telling people what to do. That was super impressive to me. And so being here at the expo is like a dream come true. I'm just seeing what I was looking forward to at this company, because everyone who has been working on their projects, they are able to show it off. And everyone is just so proud to talk to other people about how they have improved processes, saved money. I really just can't wait to be a part of it myself and help facilitate it, and not do the improvements myself or tell people what to do, but to help people do them themselves and to eliminate roadblocks and to make it easier for them to do this, because I mean, this is what it's all about. I'm really happy to see this.
That's awesome.
Thanks for asking.
Wonderful answer. Wonderful answer.
Yeah. You've been running a really cool project, and you got to present yesterday, and you talked about the process so far. You've gone through the see and the think phase, and now you're going to begin to experiment. How do you feel like this process has helped you, support you? Maybe how have I helped support you as your sponsor, project sponsor, in getting some results and feeling like you can accomplish something meaningful?
I value the group leader project for several reasons. One of them is I'm able to gauge how, this is my first job out of college, first full-time job. I'm able to gauge how I handle stress. It's very stressful. I don't know if you know that, Josh. Actually, Josh is the one who makes it very stressful. So
I knew it.
so I'm able to kind of work through that before I receive a team, and I'm able to find out ways like, how do I work best? I'm making notes, I'm planning, and I'm getting in the groove of how to navigate the OC Tanner system, how to create meetings with people, how long to take with them. Another reason why I'm really happy to do this project is because I'm able to see almost every part of manufacturing, because whenever I have a question about something, I ask someone, it gets answered, but I'm also sent to someone else because then I get more questions. Okay, so this is how the process works, but it involves a couple of other teams. Okay, let me go talk to them. What kind of problems are they having? Oh, okay. How are these people involved? Go talk to them. And I'm just expanding and expanding and expanding. And I'm happy because I don't know how else I would really do that here. It's a full-time job just getting to know OC Tanner.
Yeah, and it's a very humbling experience because you aren't quite sure how to proceed, and so you're going to ask for help. You're going to get some guidance, and you have the support and assurance that you're going to reach your objective because you have a great support system, like your sponsor.
Like my sponsor. Yes.
Even though he's hard on you sometimes. Well, we wish you luck in your project. We're happy that you were able to actually participate live in this expo. You may have seen some videos from our channel. You want to go check it out, as you have. And so here you are. Now you get to do it. You get to feel the energy. You get to participate. So we wish you the very best.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Helaman. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot.
Seriously, one of my favorite parts about this strategy deployment is that you can see the teams like logistics that got best in show, number one across everybody, that put in tireless amount of work to look at our project and look at our margins in ways that we never have before, and really stretched. And it's really amazing to see that growth and watch teams move mountains of goals that they didn't think that they could. Right? We pushed back on doing something big for years because we didn't think that we could just add something else to what we were already doing. And to see them move mountains on top of their normal work is just so impressive. And every single team does that. Manufacturing teams, support teams, all of them come with amazing growth to show what they've learned. Maybe they didn't hit their lag and they were working so hard and so closely to that, and were empowered by how much how hard they wanted to hit that, and then failed to do so. And you can just see the emotions as they process it and are still proud of what they did accomplish, even though they didn't hit their lag. And then to watch teams hit their lag and just blow things out of the water is so impressive to see their hard work pay off, because every single one of these teams is putting in the work. And it's really impressive to see the growth that comes from that.
Yeah, I was impressed to see how well people did when they reported, and their metrics were good. They chose some really strong goals, and I was impressed too. It's just amazing to see the collaboration of several successful teams and how that impacts and benefits a company. And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Is every little bit helps. And congratulations to all those that won the Best of Show, and for those that reached their goals. And we're going to kind of wrap this up. This has been fun. I'm so glad that we were able to do this together again, and we'll do it again next time.
We hope that you'll come back. We do a strategy expo every 6 months. We don't know that we'll do a video on it every single time, but it's so cool to see what is new and what changes come in, just like Marcy and Jacob were saying, because there really is so much to change and to improve every day. So we're grateful that you guys got to join us. We hope that you'll come back and watch different videos. You can learn more about what we're doing here and the processes that lead up to it if you go check out our channel. We hope that you'll subscribe, like this video, and we hope to see you back soon.